Hi everyone. We'll be starting the program review right on time in a few minutes. Just to quickly introduce myself, I'm Rasha Khan and I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. Would love to know where are you tuning in from on the chat here. So I've put down my introductions on the chat for you, and you can let us know by putting down your name and where are you joining us from. As this is a global webinar, you will see a lot of folks joining from different countries, and that definitely makes the chat pretty interesting, right? So we have few minutes to network and introduce ourselves a bit on the chat here, and you can do that. And also we are streaming live on YouTube channel as well. So I see folks have started joining us there as well. So folks on the YouTube Live chat box, you can also introduce yourself with your name and where are you joining us from. So you can let us know in the YouTube Live chat box. I see introductions have already started coming in on the chat here. That's great. I see Nikita has joined us from UAE, and Vidyasagar has joined us from Hyderabad, India. Sukhvinder has joined us from Punjab. Suresh says, hello, would love to know, Suresh, where are you joining us from? And Taimur has joined us from Pakistan and says, happy to join us. We have an interesting program review lined up for you. We'll be talking about the Data Scientist Master's Program by Simplilearn and how exactly you can open a gate to a successful data scientist career in 2024. We also have an industry expert here with us, Amitabh Srivastava, who will be taking you through this free program review on the data scientist master's program. So keep the amazing introductions coming in on the chat. Meanwhile, you're doing that, let me just quickly take you through the few quick ground rules we have here for the session. So in case you have any questions for our speaker, please put it down in the Q&A box. As you can see, the chat box is completely blowing up with your messages there, amazing introductions there. So it will be really hard for us to keep a track of your queries you might have, and we would love to address all of your queries here. So please do that. Please do that for our speaker. So because speaker will be looking into the Q&A box and addressing your queries. And the session is being recorded. You can expect a recording link of the session to view after the webinar with us. You can keep an eye on your mail for that. In case you missed anything, in case you want to go through the recording of the session once again, you can do that. Also, to request a proof of attendance, you will have to stay till the very end of the webinar, which is of 60 minutes of duration. And you will have to fill the post-webinar survey pop-up by Zoom, which will basically be visible once I end the session in 60 minutes. And it will ask you for your full name, and you will have to enter that full name which you would want to see on the certificate. So we will require that data from you in order to send you the personalized webinar certificate. So please do that for me. And also, I see a lot of new folks joining in. So please don't worry, folks. We are just starting the session. We're just quickly going through the ground rules here. In case you have missed anything which I've said, I will nudge about it during the session on the chat as well. And also towards the end as well. So please don't worry, you have not missed out anything. You can see amazing introductions in the chat, coming in there. So go and put down your intro in the chat with the name and where are you tuning in from. As this is a global webinar, you'll be seeing a lot of people joining in from different countries, and that makes this webinar, equally interesting. And this program is powered by Simplilearn, world's #1 online bootcamp. We have been in the digital skills training space for more than a decade now. And we are very proud that we have transformed lives by empowering people via digital skills. And the skill which we'll be talking about today is the data scientist master's program. We have advanced over 5 lakh plus careers in over 50 plus countries. We have 800 plus qualified trainer, and we have among them, we have one of the amazing trainer here with us who will be taking you through this free program review of the data scientist master's program by Simplilearn. Moving on to the agenda of today's session, talking about careers. The first and the most important agenda is about you, getting to know a little bit about you and how we can help you out in your career better. And the second agenda of today's session is talking about the data scientist careers in 2024, which should be in demand. What are the skills? What are the careers? What exactly happening in the data science space here? And then we'll be talking about how this program, the master's program in data scientist, prepares you, and how this program gets you job ready, how this program has success stories of learners to share with. So I will be sharing with you the success stories of learners, and also based on the interest you share towards the enrollment into the program. We will be quickly taking you through the enrollment steps of the program. And also, there will be a special duration towards the end for the Q&A part. But in case, the speaker gets time during the session, we will be taking your queries then as well. So in case we are not able to answer your queries, please don't worry, have a little patience and we will address all of your queries towards the end. So thank you so much. I see a lot more introductions coming in as I was speaking. So in case you have just joined right now, please don't worry, you have not missed much. We are just starting the session and these are the agenda of today's session. I will nudge about the ground rules of the session for folks who have missed it on the chat. So please don't worry, I'll keep you informed in the chat and any questions you might have, the Q&A box is open, address them. Yeah. So yeah, moving on to the first poll of today's session. As I mentioned, the most important thing and the most important agenda for today's session is about you, getting to know about you, how we can help you out in your career better. For that, I'll need a little detail from you. So how many years of experience do you currently have? You can see a quick poll launched on the screen here. And you can just quickly vote for it based on the most suitable option for you. I'll just read out these options for you. As I can see that you folks have already started voting. You guys are pretty quick there. So the first option here is less than 2 years. Second option here is 2 to 5 years. And the third option here is 5 to 10 years. And the fourth option here is more than 10 years. I see you guys have already started voting in. So that's great. For sharing the email ID in the chat, we already have your email ID, so you don't have to share that, just to let you know. So Balaji has, I'm just quickly reading out the intros on the chat here. I see Balaji has joined us from Tamil Nadu, Geeta from Tamil Nadu as well. And I see Suresh has joined us from Nepal, happy to join. And Haruna has joined us from Pakistan, Masood has joined us from Qatar, oil and gas. I'm assuming you're working in oil and gas industry. And Agatha has joined us from Atlanta. And Joy from Kenya says that, hello everyone, I'm humbled to be in the session. Faith has joined us from Nigeria and says, I'm happy to join. Bashir has joined us from Nigeria, Ramzan from Pakistan, Masood from Qatar, Temur from Pakistan, and Shukwinder from Punjab, Vidyasagar from India, Nikita from UAE, and Anusha from Egypt. And not able to make out the name, but someone has joined us from Pune as well. SSK Rajput says that I'm from a non-tech background. It's totally okay. That's not a problem. Yeah, I see that most of you have responded for this poll here. So last 5 seconds for the poll. I'll be quickly ending this poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me end the poll and also share the results with you folks here. Let's see. This poll is pretty interesting in a way that this is a global webinar. We get folks from different countries joining in, and also they come from different set of experiences as well. So this poll definitely helps our speaker as well, to tailor his responses to according to the audience, with experience who have joined us. Let me just see, like 61% of you have less than 2 years of experience, and 25% of you have more than 10 years of experience. And 8% of you have 2 to 5 years of experience, and 7% of you have 5 to 10 years of experience. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. That definitely gives us and our speaker an understanding of what kind of audience with the experience who have joined us. Now, quickly introducing you to our speaker, Amitendra Srivastava. Amitendra, a very good evening to you. And let me just quickly introduce Amitendra here. So Amitendra here has 16 years of experience in analytic and statistical concepts, and has over 4,500 hours of experience in training. And he also trains in AI/ML concepts like statistical model building and machine learning, and also on analytical tools such as Python and R. Amitendra, I'm pretty sure these 3 pointers do not describe all the experience and skills you have. So I'm pretty sure the crowd would love to know a little bit about you from you as well.
Hey, thanks, Rasha. Good evening. Hello, everyone. This is Amitendra, and genuinely thrilled to be here with all of you today. Let me introduce myself. I'm Amitendra, and I would like to share a bit about my background. With an MBA degree under my belt, I have garnered over 16 years of valuable corporate experience. And throughout my journey in the corporate world, my passion for analytics and statistical concepts has been the driving force behind my success. And this forward has propelled me to excel in both training delivery and analytics product development as well. And over the years, I have had the privilege of collaborating with exceptional organizations and individuals. I have had honor of training corporate teams in data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, accumulating over 4,500 hours of corporate training experience. And it's been incredibly fulfilling to empower professionals with the knowledge and skills needed to leverage these transformative technologies effectively. So this is what I have been doing. This is what I do, just to summarize my background.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for your introduction. And we have an interesting, program review lined up for the data scientist master's program. But before that, let's start talking about the careers in data scientist in 2024. So let's start with how exactly data is driving the 2024 economy here. So companies here are seeking professionals who can efficiently manage data and extract business insights. Data has grown exponentially over the past decade and is projected to reach 175 zettabytes by 2025, according to IDC. And Fortune Business Insights anticipates that big data spending will surge from $41 billion in 2019 to $116 billion by 2027. Would you like to share a comment on this?
Sure. And well, in today's rapidly evolving business landscape, it's evident that the data is the new currency, driving innovation and competitive advantage. As someone deeply involved in the AI and ML space, I have witnessed firsthand the transformative power of data-driven solutions. Companies that embrace this trend and invest in cultivating data-centric talent will undoubtedly position themselves for success in the digital age. And as we navigate this data-rich environment, it's crucial for professionals to not only possess technical expertise, but also a strategic mindset to unlock the full potential of data and drive meaningful business outcomes. So this is what I would say, and I would suggest to actually think about.
Thank you so much for sharing a comment on that. Also, folks, just want to know, is the screen visible to you folks? Because I can see that it's visible in the live streaming. I think someone pointed out it's not visible. Just let me know by saying yes or no on the chat. That will really help us. And folks who are facing any issue, please just check. Might be a technical issue from your end. Okay, awesome. So yeah, now talking about the hottest skills, which will be in demand in the data science space in 2024 to start.
So in 2024, if you're talking about the most sought after skills in the data science domain, will include your machine learning, deep learning, NLP that you talk about, computer vision, not to forget your generative AI, including your A/B testing and all. So these skills are pivotal in navigating data-rich landscape and driving innovation across industries. And these are the skill set that you should focus upon if you want to make your career in this particular field, if you want to scale the heights in this particular path. And there are a lot of opportunity in this particular field. And these are some of the skill set that we are mentioning over here. And each one has its own use case. Each one comes with its own skill set that you need to acquire. But these are the skill set which are most sought after, and some of them are like having some overlap with each other. When you talk about, say, natural language processing, you have to understand machine learning, deep learning for that to a certain extent. Computer vision has a lot of overlap with machine and learning and deep learning. Similarly, reinforcement learning. So idea is that you get the understanding that what are the skill sets that are required in today's world, and these are some of them that we have mentioned here.
Thank you so much for sharing a comment on the skills here. We have talked about the skills. How can we miss talking about the data science career paths which we in trend in 2024 and beyond as well?
So now here, the career path that we are mentioning, we are talking about say data scientist. So as a data scientist is a versatile problem solver who possesses a blend of statistical programming and domain specific knowledge. They excel at analyzing complex data sets, developing machine learning model, and extracting actionable insights to drive business decision. You have machine learning engineers, which are skilled in implementing and optimizing machine learning algorithms. They should have a strong background in software engineering and should be proficient in designing scalable and efficient machine learning systems that can handle large volume of data. You have data analysts, which are basically folks who are detail oriented professional who specialize in collecting, organizing, and analyzing data to uncover patterns and trends. They should be adept at using statistical technique and data visualization tools to communicate their findings effectively. You have AI research scientists. They are the forefront of advancing artificial intelligence through innovative research and experimentation. They typically have a deep understanding of machine learning algorithms and are involved in developing cutting edge AI models and algorithms. You have big data engineer. They are experts in managing and processing large scale data sets using technologies like Hadoop, Spark, NoSQL databases. Business intelligence analysts focus on transforming data into actionable insights to support strategic business decisions. You have data engineers. Data engineers are responsible for designing and building robust data infrastructure and pipeline, which is eventually used in your machine learning or deep learning processes. You have statistician, experts in theory and application of statistical methods. They play a critical role in designing experiments, conducting data analysis, and interpreting results to make informed decisions in various fields like healthcare, finance, marketing. You have data architect responsible for designing and implementing the overall data architecture of an organization. Then you have NLP engineers specialize in developing algorithms and systems that enables computers to understand and process human language. They work on tasks such as your sentiment analysis, machine translation, summarization, and all. So this is just to give you a little idea that what kind of career path is there and what each one is capable of doing.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for shedding some light on the data science career paths here, which will be in demand in 2024. Also, let's talk about what exactly is changing in the data science space. What's new, what's happening this year.
Okay, so if you look at here, AI integration we are talking about. AI integration has been picked up by leaps and bounds. So there's a widespread integration of AI across various industries, revolutionizing the business processes and driving innovation. From healthcare to finance, AI is transforming operations, customer experiences, and decision-making processes that we talk about. Then ethical data practices, with growing concern about data privacy and security. There is an increase in emphasis on ethical data usage. Companies are prioritizing responsible data practices, ensuring compliance with the regulation and safeguarding sensitive information. You have quantum computing impact. The emergence of quantum computing is poised to revolutionize the data analysis by offering unprecedented computational power. This technology has the potential to solve complex problems at a speed and scale previously unimaginable, opening up new possibilities for data scientists and researchers. And I'm quite pumped up for quantum computing impact. Then you're talking on automation and auto ML, automation tools, auto ML, automated machine learning platforms are simplifying the data analysis process, enabling faster model development and deployment. These technologies empower data scientists to focus on high value tasks while automating repetitive processes. And eventually we are talking about interdisciplinary skills. So collaboration with domain experts in various fields fields is becoming increasingly important in data science project. Data scientists are working closely with professionals from diverse backgrounds, such as healthcare, finance, to develop tailored solutions that addresses specific industry challenges. So these changes underscore the dynamic nature of the data science space and highlights the need for continuous learning and adaptation to stay ahead in this rapidly evolving field.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for taking us through what exactly is new and changing in this data science space. We have an interesting question in the Q&A box that can a data analyst jobs be replaced by AI, now that we were talking about AI?
Okay, so when you talk about, I would say while AI and automation technologies have the potential to augment and streamline many aspects of data analysis, but it's unlikely that data analyst job will be completely replaced by AI in the foreseeable future, I would say. And the reason I would say is the complexity of analysis is such that it cannot be entirely solved or taken care by AI. And also the domain knowledge, which is a very important aspect of data analysis, cannot be simply imparted to an AI system, because domain is something that you uh, get domain understanding you get by getting into that particular domain, making your hands dirty and then learning by doing. So that's something you cannot replicate with AI. And similarly, when you talk about data quality, interpretation of data, communication with the stakeholders, driving certain innovation, it's quite difficult that these aspects of human nature can be replicated by AI. So, in summary, I would say while AI and automation technologies are transforming the field of data analysis, and human analysts continue to play a crucial role in leveraging data to drive business value, which is not going to change.
Thank you so much for answering that, Amitendra. Arkadev, please do let us know if that answers your question or if you have any follow-up questions for us. Moving on to the next slide here. So now that we have talked about the skills and the career paths, for a data scientist, we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming a data scientist here. So would love to know your concerns. I'm just launching a quick poll here. This one is a multiple choice poll. Because there can be multiple concerns, when it comes to pursuing a career in data science or becoming a data scientist. Arkadev says thank you for answering. Thank you for your response, Arkadev. And yeah, I see that you folks have already started sharing your responses here. I'm just reading out these options for you, folks. For folks who have joined us live on our YouTube channel as well, you can just respond by answering 1, 2, or 3, 4 options, or multiple options, as per your convenience. So first one here is I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one here is I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And third one here is I find it difficult to learn from peer-reviewed videos. And the fourth one here is my work schedule won't allow me enough time to learn it. So as I was speaking, I see most of you have already responded for the poll, but let's give 10 seconds more for the poll here for a few of the folks who are still thinking about it. Also, folks, like we understand that this poll does not cover your concern or challenge. The Q&A box is completely open for your queries there. Just make sure that the queries are related to data scientist or the master's program, which we'll be covering next. Yeah. I see a lot of interesting questions coming on the chat here. I'm so sorry, folks. We might miss your queries there because due to high attendance and chat volume as well. So please make sure that you are putting your questions in the Q&A box for our speaker Amitendra, because that is where he will be looking at your questions and answering whenever he gets the time. Awesome. Last 5 seconds for the poll. What's stopping you from becoming a data scientist? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me end the poll and also share the results with you folks. Let's see what are your concerns. So 43% of the votes are for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And 38% of the votes are for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And 36% of the votes are for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. and 23% of the votes are for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. So thank you so much. These basically votes will definitely help us, address a lot of these, challenges you're facing through the program introduction and preview, which we'll be talking about next. So thank you so much, folks. Thank you for that. Moving on to the program introduction here. For the Data Scientist Masters program by Simplilearn. This is in collaboration with IBM as a partner. And in this, you get industry aligned learning path. We'll be talking about the learning path in very much detail in the upcoming slides here. And I think we got the highest amount of votes for, I wouldn't get the practical exposure, I need to become job ready. So for that, we have integrated labs and hands-on projects for practical experience. We'll be talking about the projects in detail, how exactly these projects will help you out in your career, how exactly you can build your portfolio through these projects to showcase your future employees in case you don't have any experience as a data scientist or at this particular field. And we'll be also showcasing you how exactly the learning environment looks like once you basically take up this program, and how exactly the learning environment looks like, how exactly the live virtual classrooms look like, how you can interact with the instructor and also fellow peers as well. We'll be talking more about how this program covers the tools, the platforms, what exactly skills developing through this program, through the learning path. And also the program duration for this master's program is of 11 months, and you can just complete it by giving 5 to 10 hours per week. Moving on to the collaboration which we have with IBM here. The IBM Advantage you get here, in which you get exclusive hackathons and Ask Me Anything sessions by IBM, and also masterclasses by IBM, and also industry recognized IBM certificates, which I'll be showing you next. One of the certificates, so you have an idea what exactly are the certificates and how they look like, and also I'll be showcasing you these certificates if possible in the learning environment as well. Also, the list of courses we have in collaboration with IBM for which you will get certificates for are programming for data science and Python for data science. Let me just quickly show you how exactly the Python for data science certificate looks like from IBM. As you can see here, the certificate here is from IBM, and it is certified to basically the learner, and it is for this particular topic, Python for data science. And you can see all the details here. Here it is by Simplilearn, issued by Simplilearn, and also the date it will be issued also, and also the credentials for it as well. So we'll be showcasing you where exactly this certificates are in the learning environment if possible, how we can basically unlock them as well, all these details in the upcoming slides. Now, talking about the eligibility and the criteria. So I think we've gotten a few questions about if I'm eligible to take up this master's program by Simplilearn, the data scientist level. So let me just clear that for you. So you need to have a basic understanding of programming concepts and mathematics, and you need to have a bachelor's degree with an average of 50% or higher marks to take up this program. As this is a master's program, a bachelor's degree is required, and also preferably 2+ years of experience, formal work experience, not particularly in the same field, but it is not mandatory. But if you have it, that's great when you're taking up this program. That will help you with the job access services which we do. Will definitely boost your profile, because some kind of experience, they ask, when you are applying for these jobs. Now, next agenda of the session, that how this program by Simplilearn prepares you. So starting with the learning path of the program, as mentioned earlier. So Amity, can you take us through the learning path, how exactly this program builds the data science skills step by step, starting with the orientation session by Simplilearn, where you basically get introduced to your fellow students, fellow peers, and also the introduction of the learning path again, and exactly the learning environment of the program, which we'll be sharing a glimpse of in some time. But we ask to start with the learning path here.
Sure, Rasha. So orientation is basically to get you acquainted with the entire program and also with your batchmates. And then we start with programming essentials. So idea here is that you get the basics of programming correct, because at various stages of this entire program, you will be exposed towards programming so that you can work on data and can solve some real-time problem. So programming essentials will make sure that you get the basics right about programming. Even if you do not come from a programming background, we ensure that you get the right understanding on how to write particular program code and how do we work with it, what's the logic behind it, and how it will be useful at various stages of your data science path that we follow. Once we are done with programming essential, then we move to SQL. Now, it doesn't matter at what level you are working or what kind of work you are doing. Once in a while, or probably more than once, you will come across some data sets which will be stored in structured databases, and your job is to work with them. Even though if you are working with Python, suppose on top of that, you are still required to connect to SQL databases and work with them in this particular field. So SQL here makes sure that you get the understanding how to query data which are getting stored in relational databases. You are able to fetch that, you are able to write queries to optimize your work. And then on top of that, you can apply some statistical analysis or machine learning algorithm. So idea is to get acquainted with SQL entirely. How does it work? How do you write SQL queries? And then what kind of work we can perform with that. Once you get that part done, then we move to Python for data science. So here the idea is that how Python fits into the entire ecosystem of data science and what are the different packages that you should learn about Python so that your work in data science field becomes smooth and seamless. So idea is to go through some of the packages which are very essential from the data science perspective. It could be pandas, it could be numpy, scipy, or some of the visualization library which is there. So how do they work and how do we utilize them in our own work is what will be taught to you in Python for data science. Then we move to applied data science with Python. Now here we are teaching you that before you start with the actual algorithm, what kind of data pre-processing is very important, including your data enriching, your data wrangling, feature engineering, and what are the different techniques available for that. So we teach you those concepts, which is mostly statistical in nature or mathematical in nature. We pick up those concepts, we teach you, and then we also let you know how to implement those concepts onto the data using Python. So idea is not only to understand those concepts that how mathematically do they work or how statistically do they work, but but also able to implement on a given problem and then solve it. So that's what we deal in applied data science with Python. And then you have data visualization, with Python. So here the idea is, so data visualization using Tableau. So here the idea is to, once you are working with the data, you are able to understand how to analyze it. Then you are using that data to create certain interactive dashboards, which make sure that you cover the entire understanding of the data, crux of the data. You are able to highlight the shortcomings of the data or probably finding certain anomalies or simply creating a dashboard on the KPIs which are important from a company perspective. So that's what we deal here in data visualization using Tableau. And then you all have, eventually you have an industry focused capstone project. So here, the focus is that whatever you have learned from day one, programming essential, till data visualization using Tableau. So how you can put all that learning into a practice, that's where this capstone focuses upon. So it checks your understanding on all the concepts that you have gone through in detail and gives you a comprehensive real-time experience that how you will be solving a problem in real-time scenario. In addition to that, you also have certain electives, like you can pick up business analytics with Excel. Excel is a powerful tool to analyze data. It has its own limitations, but within the feasibility of data analysis, it works very well. Then you have data science essential of generative AI, prompt engineering, and ChatGPT. You must have experienced how generative AI has actually revolutionized the way we have been creating applications. And here we talk about what is generative AI and what is prompt engineering, which is very important when you are actually dealing with some of the LLMs, large language model. Then you also have elective on data storytelling using Power BI. So how Power BI can help you with presenting your findings or creating an interactive dashboard. Then we also have R programming for data science, so which is an additional tool you are learning in addition to Python, which will help you to look at the problem from a diverse set of tools. Every tool comes with its own pros and cons. So you're taught R programming, and then you also get certain industry master class from IBM, from industry expert on data science. So these are the electives. So that's a whole program that you have.
Thank you so much for taking us through the learning path here. Also talking about the electives which you have already talked about. So they come as a part of the program. They are optional. We don't charge anything extra for that. So it is up to you if you want to take it up. I think we have few questions. Is this a free or paid course? This is a paid course because this is a master's program for 11 months of duration. Will be covering for. So yeah, we do have free courses if you want to check it out. You can go and check out Skill Up there in case you want to just explore these categories and understand which programs you would want to go for. So yeah, talking about the tools, libraries, and platforms you will be learning in this program. As you can see, there are so many tools here, but maybe we can shed some light on the most important tools, which will be very important for someone who wants to aspire to become a data scientist through this master's program.
Sure. So we are dealing with different tools, and each tool, not only they work on their own, but they might also have certain additional capability. Like when we talk about Python comes with some additional packages which are very helpful in certain problem solving. Like we are talking about pandas, which is for data manipulation, NumPy for mathematical computation. Similarly, you have matplotlib for data visualization. So these tools will be taught to you in detail, and we'll be also talking about, in addition to that, we'll be talking about, say, ChatGPT, how you can use it efficiently by crafting more powerful prompts. DAL-E is there. If you want to create images from some text description, then how should you do it? Similarly, you have Power BI, you have Tableau. So all these tools will be taught to you in this entire program.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for your comment on the tools and the platforms in this program. Also, the capstone projects, we have gotten a really huge amount of votes when we talked about, when we asked them like what exactly is the concern when it comes to pursuing a career in data science or becoming a data science expert. And they voted for, I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. So we'll be diving more into these projects in the upcoming slides as well, and also the learning environment. But what exactly are these capstone projects, and how exactly these projects, which they get to cover in this program, how exactly do they help a learner, to showcase that experience and build that portfolio when they are getting out there and trying to land their dream job in data science?
So basically, the capstone is designed to give you a comprehensive experience in terms of how an actual real life problem is solved. So this is a very comprehensive project that is given to you. And the idea is that we test your knowledge on whatever has been taught to you. Now, that's from our perspective. But as a learner, what happens is when you get to see a very comprehensive capstone, it tests your knowledge. It makes you think how the problem solving happens in real time. It gives you an experience that how you take a problem, break it down into smaller components, and then apply all your learning to solve it. So it gives you a lot of practical exposure, gives you a lot of confidence as well. So when you are going for an interview, when you're talking about your project, you will know what all aspects of project life cycle you have to follow once you're solving any actual problem. So this is where capstone comes very handy. It tests your understanding on different concepts, and this is, as I mentioned, very close to real life business scenario. It's almost exactly almost same in terms of the practical exposure that you get. The only difference would be here that probably you're not interacting with the end client. The rest of the stuff is entirely same as how we are working in real time scenario. So that gives you a lot of confidence once you solve one of these projects.
That sounds interesting, and I hope that answers a lot of your questions. About the projects we'll be covering. Talking more about the projects, we have a sales analysis project, employee performance analysis project, crime analysis with Tableau dashboard, classification of songs, interactive sales dashboard, marketing strategies with exploratory data analysis, and many more projects, industry-based projects captioned one to cover from, which you can take up through this program. We'll be showcasing you these projects in the learning environment. So let's quickly move on to the learning environment of the data scientist master's program by Simplilearn. Amitendra, while you prepare to share your screen for this program, I'll just quickly tell them what exactly we'll be covering in this learning environment. We'll be showcasing you how you can manage your curriculum. So learning environment is exactly, when you take up this program and you get access to the elements of the learning environment. So how you can manage your curriculum, how exactly the live classes looks like, how you can basically go and opt for it, and how exactly the recorded, version of the live classes also look like in case you missed it. In case you're working professional, you can still access it. And also the test demo, the caption projects, which you just talked about, how are these caption projects? And also, while you're going through the project, how exactly the electives like IBM collaboration also looks like, how you can unlock those electives as well, and how you can unlock your certificates, how you can progress your tracking, also the support tools which are available 24/7 as well. So these are the things which we'll be covering in the learning environment. A lot of questions we have gotten can be covered through this learning environment and might give you that clarity as well. So Amitin, would you like to share your screen? Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Awesome. I have stopped sharing my screen.
Sure.
Also, while Amitendra is sharing his screen, I see a lot of good questions coming on the chat. I'm so sorry, folks. We will be missing out on these queries in the chat because of due to high attendance and chat volume. So please go and put it on in the Q&A box, and we'll be taking Q&A questions pretty soon. So please do that. This is a really good thing.
So guys, once you enroll for the program, you will be given an LMS access. And in this LMS, what you get is you get the listing of all the programs that you have. And then you can go inside a particular program. Like here, I have taken Applied Data Science with Python. Now here, what you get is on the left-hand side, if you see, this is how the learning environment look like. You have a self-learning option over here. Now, this is just to, I won't say a prerequisite, but this is just to help you to get some understanding of the concept which would be dealt in live classroom. So you can watch videos. These videos are available, which introduces some basic concepts before you go for the live classes. Then here you get live class option. So you can click on this and you can join your session from here itself. So here is your live session option. And then you have assessment tab here itself. So what it does basically is once you have finished your program, you can click on the assessment tab. It lists down all the assessments that you need to finish so that you can unlock the certificate. Like in this example, if you see here, we have one MCQ, that's a simulation test, and then you have sales analysis and marketing campaign as your assessment project. So here you need to solve one of these projects and you need to submit here itself in the LMS. Then the other thing that I personally really like, and I find everything that I need for the program here. So ebooks are nothing but all the PPTs, all the slides that the trainer will be using in the live class. I can download from here beforehand or as we go into the session. Then when we are using certain example, or if I'm teaching you certain concept and I want to implement on the data, so I'll be using some code. Those code books, you can download it from here under IPYNB section. And while in the classroom, what you need to do, you need to simply start those code book, and the trainer will explain every line of code in detail, that why we have written something and what's the end use of that. So those files also you get that there. And in the coding environment, you will be using certain data sets. So you can download all those data sets with description over here. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, you will be doing some coding. So you get a practice lab, and the same lab over here, same LMS over here, a practice lab. Once you click on practice lab, it will launch the lab for you. So here, if you see, I can launch the lab. This is my Python lab that I have been using. And once I launch the lab, from here itself, I can start using it. I don't need to install anything on my system. I can use this cloud-based notebook, and I can solve all the problems that have been given to me. And what happens, what I have seen with this is that some of the folks are not accustomed to programming or working with Python. But once they start using this cloud-based notebook, they get experience with this, and then they can do the setup on their own. They don't have to worry about searching some things here and there. Now, once I'm inside the lab, how it looks like, let me just give you a little example over here, how we teach in the classroom. So once we are in the class, in the lab here, we have been given certain concept to be taught. And then along with that, we have been also given certain Jupyter notebooks that we need to run in the classroom. So like if you see this example over here, I can pick up, see text classification. And in the text classification, I'm using a deep learning model. Suppose this is just an example, nothing to do with applied data science with Python, but it's just that I want to show you over here. So this is your text classification using BERT. We explain you the concept in the classroom, that what BERT is capable of, suppose. Then here we write all the comments that what we are doing when we are writing the code, and then we run this in the classroom together. And every line of the code will be explained to you by the trainer. So this way, what happens, you get full understanding that what has been done, why we are writing something. And even when you go back to these notebooks later, because of these efficient comments that we have put across, you understand what was done earlier. So this is how typically we teach in the classroom. And in addition to that, if you see this particular LMS, it also has a note section on the top, and it also has help section. So if you get stuck somewhere, you can raise a ticket and it will sort out any problem if you're facing. So this is how your LMS look like. And once you have gone through the program, you have finished your assessment, you can click on a certificate, and the certificate will be issued here itself. So this is how it works, your LMS.
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for taking us through the learning environment of the master's program of data scientist by Simplilearn here. Let me just quickly share back my screen. Folks, this is a really good time to put on any questions you might have about the program or data scientist career in general. Quickly sharing the learning outcome of the program. So interestingly, the previous classes of this master's program has consisted of learners, joining us from world-class organizations and industries. That does not mean it is only limited to that. They cover thousands of, unique, diverse industries there. Just quickly sharing a few of the success stories among thousands of them to start with. So we have Cody Philippi here, who shares that this course really helped him a lot, and it made him understand how to prioritize important stuff for you. Also, it allowed him to learn and discuss new things like data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. And he would also recommend attending Simplilearn's live classes. They give a lot of context and are 10x more helpful. Also, Tariq Belkacem shares here that trainers here are very professional and very friendly, and they have really good knowledge of AIML and have helped him a lot in the beginning of the course, as he was completely new to it. And even after this course, he has learned about the various advancements in the field of AIML, and also now is recognized as subject matter expert in the AI/ML by his own organization. Jamil Aman here shares that he has an incredible journey completing his master's certificate in data science through his master's program, and also friends, faculty members, and community support which he has gotten from this program has encouraged him to complete this achievement. And also, he has learned multiple scripting languages and expanded his knowledge in statistics, data management, visualization, and machine learning through IBM and Simplilearn. Sayanta Burman shares here that the entire content of this program was very much organized, and he got sufficient practical exposure through the live sessions and the projects. The course had more implementation than the theoretical part, which definitely helped him understand various concepts better. And this definitely helped him applying data science to his current role of a traffic engineer. And then there are thousands of more. I'll be sharing the link towards the program with you. You can check out more such success stories there shortly. And at the end of it all, just to summarize what exactly you'll be getting from this program, you'll be getting the data scientist program certificate here, which you can see on the screen here. This is basically by Simplilearn. This is a master's program certificate for data scientists. As you can see, it will have your name here and also the post details and the date, and it will be certified here by Simplilearn as a certificate of achievement for this data scientist master's program. We will be getting hands-on projects on integrated labs, which we have already talked about in very much detail, and also shown in the learning environment how exactly it looks like, how you can unlock the certificates. You will be getting a live interaction sessions on the latest AI trends such as ChatGPT, generative AI, prompt engineering, and many more to cover with. You also will be getting 3 capstone projects and 25 plus hands-on projects, from various industry domains you can, work on and build your portfolio, a strong portfolio that you can showcase to your future employees. And also industry recognized IBM certificates for IBM courses, which we have already talked about and I've shown you as well. Also, Simplilearn's career assist services, which will be provided to you, which will help you get noticed by top hiring companies here. Also, interestingly, the convocation here will be online. So not only your closest family or friends can basically join this convocation to see your achievement here, but also your far relatives and friends can also join. So that makes it very interesting. And so that is all about the master's program by basically Simplilearn for data scientists. So we would love to know your interest in enrolling into the program of data scientist master's program. But before that, I will just quickly show you the program page course curriculum also for you. Just share and also share the link towards the program in case you want to check it out in much more detail. Once you share your interest towards this program by responding yes to the poll, which I will launch, the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be actually reaching out to you. So you're just sharing your interest here, and they will be also taking you through a much more detailed walkthrough of the program. In case you might have any questions, you can do that as well. I'm sharing the link here, and also I'll just quickly browse through the program for you for what all we have covered. So this is the Master's Data Scientist program, as you can see here. It is ranked 1 as a data science course by Karya Karma here. We have just covered the learning part of the program, which we have just talked about in very much detail on the learning path, how you developed your data science skills through this program, step by step, and also showcased how you can unlock the certificates here through this program. This is in collaboration with IBM, which we have discussed. Also, as you can see about the program, what tools are covered, we have talked about them in very much detail. We've talked about the learning part of the program. And also, I'll just quickly show you the electives here, which we have talked about as well. Also, the certificate, which I've just quickly shown you through the link which I've shared. You can check it out for your own reference as well. And also the data science course reviews as well, which I've shared. There are hundreds of them. You can go and check it out. Anand Jain here, one of the alumni here who basically completed this course and fast-tracked his career now in his field of interest, and he basically is in a very good position here. I've closely worked with him as well. Aniket Kulkarni here says that my experience with Simplilearn was great, and I was able to achieve my goal of getting a job as well. So yeah, and Jayapal here shares that upskilling with Simplilearn was a great experience that also resulted in a new job opportunity for me and with a good salary hike. Again, like there are many more success stories you can go and check out. and more details here. And we have a 24/7 tool available for you. So going back to the enrollment poll question here, would you like to enroll into the Data Scientist Master's Program? You can share your interest as yes for enrollment interest. And after this, I'll be taking you through the enrollment steps, very quick and easy, which the learning consultants from Simplilearn will be reaching out to you, and they will be basically taking you through the detailed work through the program. Any questions you might have even after this webinar, you can basically get your answers there. And I'll be sharing the upcoming cohort and also the program fee for your region as well. As we can see that a lot of you folks have joined from different countries. So the link will open for your own region, and you can check out details for your own region as well. So I see that you have already started voting in for this poll, for the enrollment poll. But let's give it 10-15 seconds more because a lot of you folks are still voting for it as well. I see few responses as yes on the chat. That's great, but do vote for this poll as yes. So we can reach out to you through that poll only. The course fee I just mentioned, I'll be sharing it after the slide. Also, folks, the course fee which I'll be sharing, it has financing options as well. So in case you cannot pay it all together, there are EMI options, financing options available for your own region as well. So please don't worry about that. Also, in case you're working professional, you can also ask your tuition for a reimbursement. So that is also a possibility. Some last 5 seconds for the poll here. The polls are still moving, so I will have to extend the time a little bit because you guys are still responding to the poll. Most of you responded, but few are still responding to the poll. So I'll give like 15 seconds more for the poll. Last 15 seconds. I see a fellow alumni here who has already enrolled in the AI engineering program in Simplilearn. So like, if you already joined that course, it's totally okay. Okay. We have plenty of questions in the Q&A box, Amit Ingrid. If you have some time, you can start answering those questions while I take them to the enrollment steps. And we have few minutes where we can answer, as many quizzes as possible. I see few repetitive questions here as well on the Q&A box here.
Sure, I'll take it up some of them that I have noted down.
Sure.
So one of the question was, what is the difference between data science and data analytics? So they are quite related fields within the broader domain of data-driven decision making. And while both data science and data analytics involve extracting insights from the data, data science has a broader scope and often involves more complex and advanced techniques, whereas data analytics tends to focus on descriptive and diagnostic analysis to support operational decision making. So that's what I would say in a nutshell what the difference is. And you can look at the difference from different perspective, what's the purpose of each one, scope, your techniques, methods. Like data science employs a wide range of techniques and methods, including statistical analysis, machine learning, data mining, your predictive modeling that we call it. Data analytics, on the other hand, typically focuses on descriptive and diagnostic part. So using techniques like data visualization, exploratory data analysis, hypothesis testing is what we utilize to understand trends, identify patterns in the data. So that's how you can differentiate between data science and data analytics. That's one question I saw. And then I also saw a question that what are the suggestions for someone who is programming from the scratch? Okay, so starting programming from the scratch can be quite exciting and challenging as well. So choose a particular language. I would say you must have chosen probably Python, let's say, and then set some clear goals that what do you want to achieve from Python. Do not think of becoming Python expert overall, because it's not possible. It's a really vast, it has a vast set of application that you can think of. So think in a particular career path that what kind of expertise is required in Python, and set the goals for that. Start with the basic and practice regularly, and you have ample resources available. So learn from those. Also try to build certain projects based on whatever path you have chosen, and seek some feedback, some mentorship if you can, where people with the expertise, they can help you out in what can be done next. And I would say have fun with it. So that's what you can do. So these two questions I remember, Rasha. And
Thank you so much, Amitendra, for taking those questions. I'll be quickly ending the poll now, folks. Last 5 seconds for the poll. I see most of you have already voted for. I'm just giving last 5 seconds. You can still go and vote for. Are you interested in going into the master's program in data scientist by Simplilearn? So last 5 seconds. Yeah. I'll be ending the poll now. Thank you so much, folks, for sharing your responses. I think we saw a lot of interest towards enrollment, so that's great, and a lot many new questions coming in. We are a little tight on time, so I'll just quickly take you through the enrollment steps of the program. There are 3 simple, easy steps you will have to follow for basically enrolling into the program. Either you can go and enroll it using the link which I've shared on the chat here. I'll just share it once again. The link which I've just shown you also, like, what exactly is the course curriculum we just covered and all the details. So you can just click on that link which you see on the chat right now, in case you want to join immediately. And in case you want to wait for the learning consultants to get on a call with you, so they will take you through these 3 simple easy steps. So I'm just giving you an overview of that. So step 1 here is you'll have to submit an application to us. You'll have to apply at ask@simplilearn.net. And the step 2 here will be your application will be going for review based on the eligibility and the criteria which I've shared with you earlier. And based on that, you'll be getting admissions offer from Simplilearn's learning consultants. The cohort here type is flexible. The duration of the program is 11 months, but the cohort is pretty flexible. That way you can basically join these classes in based on the scheduled classes, weekend or weekday. The program fee here for ROW candidates here is 1,449 USD dollars, and for Indian candidates here is 57,000 INR rupees, including GST taxes. I'm sure like a lot of you have joined from different countries, so you can check it out for your own region here as well. I shared the link on the chat just now once again. And even after this webinar, if you need assistance, you can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. So I'm just sharing that email ID on the chat with you in case you need assistance and you have any more questions. Please don't worry. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'm shared that email ID on the chat with you here. Now, moving on to the Q&A part of the session. So I think, Amitendra, you have managed to answer a few questions here, which were like, most repetitive as well. Let's just see, like we have only a few minutes. We are already towards the end of our program. Let me just see if I can find one question on the chat here, Q&A box here. So yeah, I see one question from Priyanka here. I'm not sure if you have already answered this one. Let me just put it on the chat because there are so many questions. It will be hard for you to find that question. So this is by Priyanka. Says that I'm working in accounting domain in MNC, but would like to change my career in data or business analyst. But I want to know how much I can get increased payout. So this is a question about payout. But yeah, like I think changing careers into data or business analyst is the main question as well. So
the transitioning from a career in accounting to data or business analysis can potentially lead to an increase in salary depending on various factors like your skills, experience, location, industry, and the specific roles you pursue. So it depends on that. So it depends on skills, qualification, kind of experience you have. Okay, and it also depends upon what kind of objective you have. But in general, if you put across your experience and the skill set combined together, how it will be helpful in this particular field, then you can always anticipate some hike in your salary for sure. Now, worst case scenario, I would say, suppose you are getting the same salary as what you're getting at the moment, I would say still take it, because a year of experience in this particular field will give you many-fold hike in your salary, which I have seen also. I remember a couple of learners were actually getting paid very low salary, and after 6 8 months of time, when they jumped, the salary was 3 to 4 times higher. So I'm just trying to tell you that you'll have to start thinking that whatever experience you carry, how that experience can blend with the acquired skill in this particular field, and what kind of difference it can create in whatever industry you are moving or thinking to move. So that way you have to think, and salary wouldn't be a challenge going forward. It might be starting, might be an obstacle initially. It might be, I'm just saying, but it's not a big challenge going forward. Okay.
Thank you so much for answering that question, Amitendra. We are a little out of time. I'm not sure if you have answered this question by Debajit Ball. I've shared on the chat with you. If you can look at it. I'm working in a reputable BPO as team leader with limited knowledge on Excel. If I need to learn about data analysis, but I do not make dashboards because we already have BI team who does it. Hence, I will have less access on the Excel we work on. I want to know if I want to learn data analysis, what course should I go with, or I need to go with the data science course?
Well, given your background as a team leader in BPO with a limited access to Excel and no direct involvement in dashboard creation, pursuing a course in data analysis would be more aligned with your current role and objectives, because data analysis skills are essential for making informed decisions, optimizing processes, and driving performance improvement in various business contexts, including the BPO operations. So if I look at from that perspective, I would say that go for a program which focuses on data analysis and gain some practical application on that. And then from that, you can start thinking that next what you want to do in that particular career path. Probably you want to move as data analyst, and eventually you want to move forward as probably a business analyst, as well as a good job role given your kind of experience, where it tries to map data science capabilities with the problem that you can solve for a client. So those are the areas you can think of.
Thank you so much for answering the question, Abhinanda. Debajit, do let us know if that answers your question, if you have any follow-up questions as well. We'll be moving towards the end of the program. We have already exceeded the time of the program. I'm so sorry, folks. We tried addressing as many queries as possible. But in case if you have any questions, even after this webinar, I have shared the email ID with you. I'm just sharing it once again on the chat here. You can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. Even after this webinar, if you have any questions about the program or even other programs as well, which we have, it's simply on which you would like to explore. So I'm just quickly sharing that email ID on the chat. If you need assistance, you can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. And we will be ending the webinar now. But before that, would love to know from Amitendra if he has to say something to the folks before we end the session.
I would just say that if you have come to this particular webinar, it means you are looking to make your career path in this particular field. And I want to assure you that you have taken the right step. This is a field which is growing with leaps and bounds. So just keep your faith in this particular field, and see you in the classroom, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Devachit says, thank you, sir. Yes, it answers my question, and Priyanka also the one we answered. Thank you so much, folks. We'll be ending the session now. Now, for folks who are waiting for the webinar certificate, once I end this session, you will be getting a pop-up by Zoom here itself, where you have joined, and it will ask you like very three simple, easy survey questions, and in that you will have to basically put down your full name. We will need that data in order to send you the personalized certificate for attending this webinar. So we will need those details. Please do that in order to basically receive the webinar certificate. So yeah, please look out for the post-webinar survey now once I end the session. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you once again, Amitendra. Thank you.
Thank you.